Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? No, I think it was me. Can you hear me? Let me see your name in the chat box if you're here. If you're here. If you can hear me, let me hear you say, yay! You still can't hear me? Wait, somebody can hear me. Okay, cool. Hey, I'm so excited to see y'all. Okay, cool. We're cooking with gas. What's up, y'all? It has been an amazing first week. I am so excited. I'm going to go ahead and get started because last week we went for an hour and a half. We got an hour to get all the stuff, all the information that I have to you, to cover any questions that you have, to cover the questions and comments that went on to the survey for this week. So thank you everybody who completed it. I do have to laugh. Somebody already gave a thumbs down. The video just started. How does that work? It's all good. But thank you for subscribing to the YouTube channel. So super duper appreciative. Everybody who has followed me on social media, on Instagram at Coach Natisha, Facebook Coach Natisha, Twitter Coach Natisha. So a million times thanks. So if this is your first time attending training day, if this is your first time, can you put a 1 in the chat box? And I'm going to go into the group as well. Everybody is here, okay? So yes, if this is your first time attending 1, all right, yes. Hey, Antonia. Hey, Ronald. Naja, okay. Oh, wow, okay, so most of you all, well, 2 out of 4 of the ones I know y'all. So you already know I'm loud, right? So you don't have to worry about that. If you're new, please turn down your headphones because it can get a little loud in here. It's all good. My name is Natisha Willis. I'm the creator of the Freedom Friends Network, which helps me do everything that I do. It's a collective of coaches, consultants, and counselors, counselors, and creative consultants. And we do community service both online and offline. So we have a passion for service, which is why we are able to offer this amazing Coach Your Damn Self challenge to you. Nothing that I do is by myself. So either the leaders that you'll see in the Facebook group or that you will see partnering with me, or the ones that you don't see. Everything that I do is a community. There's a community around me. So when you see me, know that there's at least 20 or 30 other people who are helping make sure that this thing goes off. So I created the Coach Your Damn Self Challenge as a way to allow people, women in particular, women of color in particular, to know what coaching is. I am a certified coach, received my certification through the Institute for Life Coach Training. And I've been coaching way before then. And what I noticed, the primary reason I created this program is that, number one, I noticed that there were very few. I think there's only one that I know of, coach training program specifically by and for people of color. And so you are a part of a coach training program. That's number one. Number two, I was trained through an ICF approved training program. And ICF is the International Coaches Federation, which basically says, hey, these are the programs that teach coaching as it relates to these several principles. So I was trained that way. And I love online. Facebook is definitely one of my favorite places on earth. It's like Disney World, all my friends there. But what I noticed in the online coaching space is there are almost zero ICF trained coaches. And so what happens is what people are calling coaching, because they have not been trained according to the ICF ethics and rules and things like that, often what they're really offering is consulting. And so I created the Coach Your Damn Self Challenge as a way to introduce something new and spicy into the space, but also to help people who look like me from communities like mine to understand exactly what coaching is. And so coaching yourself, right? Taking yourself through exercises, identifying your own fears, reaching out for help. All of these are actually things that come through the coaching process. So that's the difference, right? These are the things that you find out after you're going through coaching. You learn that the work, the onus is on you, the client, not necessarily the coach. So I wanted to show exactly what that's about. So to date, as of today, we have about 1,400 people signed up. So I just want to give you a pat on the back and a hand clap for that, for sharing the challenge with your Facebook friends, with your family, with your cousins, with tagging people every time you see an ad. Thank you a million times over for doing that. We are growing by leaps and bounds, so I'm super excited about that. My goal is to share this with 10,000 women this year. So we're 10% there, and we're only 8 days into the beginning of the year. So I just want to shout y'all out, because trust and believe, I cannot do this by myself. So thank you for continuing to share everything that we have, for telling people about it, for adding people to the group, for making sure that folk know that what we're doing is live and legit. So this first week, so we launched officially last Sunday. And so if you were here, let me see a 2 in the chat box. If you were here last week, 2 in the chat box, 2 in the chat box. So for everybody who was here last week, we went over what I like to call the self-mastery hierarchy. Is that? Oh, no, it's not upside down. And this is something that I created because I realized that, number one, yes, shout out to all the 2s in the house, all the 2s in the house. So I created this, and it looks similar to Maslow's hierarchy, right? But one of the things that I recognize is that those of us who are, number one, if you are an entrepreneur of any sort, these are the levels. This is what I recognize. These are the things that you want to have in order in your own personal life. When I looked at entrepreneurs who are making huge impact in the world, Oprah, your Gary Vaynerchuk's, Richard Branson, all of these big name people, these are the things that I noticed that they have together and in order in their own lives: their life, their health, their wealth, their spiritual life, and their business. That just out of sheer just looking at them. What I also recognized is that every coach falls into one of these 5 categories, no matter what kind of coaching that you're doing: life, health, wealth, spiritual life, or business. Every coach you see falls in one of these 5 categories. The third thing that I recognized is that in order for us to be successful, there needs to be some level of organization in each of these 5 categories. Entrepreneurship depends on you as a helper in the world, working on these 5 categories. Finding your purpose is dependent upon your success or the things that you've skipped in one of these 5 categories. These 5 and this just came to me in meditation within the last 90 days. These 5 categories is really what's going to take us and help you to achieve self-mastery. So if you are a coach, these are the things that you will want to address in your own life as you follow your path. If you are not a coach and you just want to get better at life, you want to be more fulfilled, these are the 5 categories that will help you do so. What I have found in my own personal journey is that if I follow this path, and even if I follow this path like this here, what I've noticed is that I meet different people who can help me in these areas. I notice that I achieve some level of mastery. I get better in one of these areas. And what I notice is that I find in and of myself shortcuts in one of these 5 areas every time. Like no matter what I'm doing, I'm working on one of these 5 areas. Okay. And so last week we talked about life. So if you haven't seen the life video, please go back and check it out. This week we're talking about health. And just to give you a brief recap, life is really all the foundational things, the foundational resources, support that helps you to organize your foundation, to get your foundation organized. For me, what I found helped my life goals really helped me achieve a firm foundation were, my therapist, hiring a professional organizer, and hiring a housekeeper. These are the things that I found helped me. Now, I live in Maryland, and therapist, housekeeper, professional organizer, none of those were more than $200. Okay. So, and if you look in your starter kit, I've given you some of the resources. I find everything that I do, almost everything that I do, I find through networking. So, and that really means talking to people, not just networking, but really forming relationships with folks. So life, that's your foundation. Health, what I have found, and just so you know some of my credentials, right? From a health standpoint, because I love to learn. My mother prayed that over me while I was in her womb, is that I would learn and never stop learning. So she cursed me. But as it relates to health, I am trained and certified in massage therapy, herbalism, and some of the people on here know me, may not know that I'm also certified and trained as a doula. Go figure. So to say that I am very familiar with health is an understatement. I've also ran 1 full marathon, 2 half marathons, and worked in all 3 of the Black-owned vegan restaurants in Baltimore City. We got one of the owners on the line tonight. Shout out to Naja, Land of Kush. If you are ever in Baltimore City, make your way there. So when it comes to health, I've got a pretty good grasp on what it means to have good health. Okay. And what I've learned over my journey is that having good health falls in one of 4 categories. Okay. It's how much water you take in. It is the quality of the sleep that you are getting. It is the food that you're putting in your body. And last but not least, it's how often you're moving your body. This is how you achieve great health. Okay, so it's very important. Sleep, water, nutrition, exercise. That's it. What happens in coaching, commonly what happens in coaching, or mistakenly, is that we think when we go to talk to a coach, they're going to tell us exactly what we need to do. Well, the truth of the matter is you are all educated, intelligent, whole, complete human beings. So you already know what to do. So I'm not going to tell you what to do as it relates to your health. What I'm going to do this week, today, our journey, our job, I'm looking for my little box. Oh, there it is. Oh. One of the things that we will be doing is looking at this pyramid. And if you look at your starter kit, you will notice that inside your starter kit, you actually have a pyramid that looks like this. And we went over this last week, but I'm going to go over it again just in case. Going on. So today, and this was actually one of the questions that I received in the survey as well. How do you prioritize basically all of the goals that you have as it relates to an area? So today, what you want to do, welcome E. Kelly. What you want to do is identify the specific health goals that you yourself have. This is what training day is all about. You having some time to identify your own specific goals, because I know you have them. We all do. Every entrepreneur that I know of who is like awesome and amazing, that I live up to, that has a something that I want to live up to, they take care of their health. Most entrepreneurs who are very, very well off, they wake up around 5 o'clock, no later than 6, and they're working out. I'm not there. I'm working on there. I'm getting there. I'm in practice. Just like most of you all. What's frequent, it's funny because most people assume that because I train coaches that my life is perfect. Not at all. What it does mean is that I am very aware of what I'm working on, what I want to be working on, what I'm working on next. So one of the questions that came up, I'm having trouble accessing my little thing here, but one of the questions that came up in the survey is, how do you figure out which goals, there we go, which goals to work on? One of the things that I noticed for me myself is that if I make it a point, if I only set one goal to accomplish for the week, I'm 100% more likely to achieve it than if I create a whole list of things. So that's what I do. I focus on one goal, one thing that I'm going to do this week. Okay. So I'm going to give you a moment, a few moments, 5 moments. My leaders are familiar with this. I've got this. One of the leaders created a bio. Oh, wish I could remember. It's some good music. Okay. It's crickets, actually. So I'm going to give you some cricket time, give you 5 minutes to write down your goals, the goals that you yourself personally know that you would like to achieve. Minutes, we're going to come back and we're going to share those. Okay. Gonna make a list of all of them. Blank piece of paper, got your journal, make a list. come bring it back just a little bit early because I want to make sure that I get enough time for questions. So let's talk about some of the goals. I wrote down some of mine. Wait, let's rewind a little bit. This will happen when you go off the cuff and you're not looking at your notes. So I said sleep, water, nutrition, and exercise, right? Sleep, water, nutrition, and exercise. What I have on my notes are stress, water, nutrition, and exercise. So sleep and stress actually go together, but you can separate them. But how you handle, how you address stress will affect your sleep. So, and you have to have sleep or rest in order for your body to regenerate new cells and all of that. So let's talk about some of our goals. Okay, Tanisha, keep the sexy alive. I like it. That's the end of Tanisha. We only working on health this week, ma'am. Can you save the money for next week? Health goals. What were some of the health goals that you came up with? Thanks, Gina. Exercise. Awesome. Anyone else want to share the goals that they came up with? Stop smoking and maintain current weight. Love it. Spend quality time with self. Yes. Exercise daily, fewer sweets, more fruit and vegetables. Exercise in the mornings, release excess weight, exercise 3 days a week. I love it. I love it. I love it. So here's the thing about writing goals, right? Meditate at least 5 minutes to decrease stress. Yes. Eat a vegetable with every meal. Maisha, let me find out you here. I love it. I love it. I love it. Okay, y'all rocking and rolling. So this is what we got. Here's one thing that you want to make sure that you do whenever you write down a goal, right? And this is, and I have to catch myself as well. One of my first goals was eat more greens. And when I said that, the next thing it's become force of habit now, is I quickly ask myself, well, how much more? And so then I switched it to eat greens 5 times per week. One of the things that you want to make sure that you put around your goals is a numerical value. So if it's drink more water, how much water, right? And so you want to make your goal something long. You want to have a long term and a short term. By the end of the year, I want to be drinking half to 1 full gallon of water every day by the end of the year. So January to December, right? By the end of this month, I want to be let's be at a half a gallon. Let me write that down. I didn't say it out in public, so I need to write it down, make sure it happened. Now, one of the things, now, if you look at your starter kit, you'll notice that it has the goal at the top, right? So we're dealing in pyramids. Those work. The goal at the top, 2 tasks that will help you achieve the goal. And then beneath those 2 tasks are 2 barriers that will prevent you from achieving the goal. And then your response, planned response to the barrier. Okay. So I just wrote down some new health goals. So let's look at my old health goal. And it's not old because I'm still a work in progress, but my previous, what I used here. Health goal was to create sustainable, healthy eating and exercise habits. Very vague, right? Almost the complete opposite of what I just said, but that's okay. How will I do that? And that was these. Eat home cooked food 5 days a week. Exercise regularly 5 days a week. That's how I'm going to achieve this. Okay. Now, underneath here, I've got barriers to this one. So my barriers to eating home cooked food 5 days a week are, I don't feel like cooking. That's one barrier. Another barrier is I'm tempted to eat out. I'm single. I love to eat out. Ask Naja. I was in Land of Kush. I was a frequent customer when it was convenient for me to get there. But now I got goals, so I can't be there all the time. So my barrier what will prevent me from doing this? I have to plan a response. What tends to happen when we make a goal, if you plan a response to what's going to happen, you already have it in mind. So you're not forcing yourself to think of something in the moment. For me, when I don't feel like cooking, here's my response. Hire somebody else. Shout out to, who did I talk to about cooking for me? I know they on the call. Crystal. Shout out to Crystal. So my response to not feeling like cooking is hiring somebody. Cook in advance, i.e. on Sundays, or cook in bulk. Blue Apron. If I turn my camera around, I will show you the Blue Apron boxes. So that's how I address that. Hopefully that makes sense. If that does not make sense, let me know. I love it. Y'all still typing goals. Let's get it. Let's get it. Let's get it. Does that make sense? Everybody? Hit a 1 for yes. 1, yes, that makes sense. 2, no. 1, yes, that makes sense. 2, no. Gina is giving a recap, so please, shout out to Gina. Thanks, Gina, one of the leaders. Okay, cool. So with that in mind, I don't see any 2s. All right, awesome. So I'm gonna hit some of these questions that we had that came up in the challenge. And I've got basically 5 minutes to do so, because after this, so that's the health, right? And I'm going to address some of the questions, and then we're going to jump into branding, because this is important. Health is important, but we're going to connect and show you how your health ties into your brand. Okay, so first off, let's answer some of the questions. How do I multitask on each goal more effectively? My personal suggestion, I do not multitask well. That's a good God to honest truth. So what I do, as I mentioned, is I literally write down the one thing that I want to achieve. If I don't do nothing else, what's the one thing that I want to do in this area? And I do that every morning. And what I've noticed is when I do that every morning, I achieve I'm an overachiever too. So that's the other thing. If I write down one thing, when that one thing is done, I'm doing other stuff. Or I'll do other stuff and make sure I get that one thing done in addition to everything else. So that's what I do personally. It's coach your damn self. So sometimes what I do personally may not work for you. So you want to make sure that you identify what works for you. Okay, so that's super duper important. And after you have attempted to find something that works for you, post it in the group and share what you've attempted to find. Right? Because it's coach your damn self, which means you find your own solutions, or at least attempt to find your own solutions before you come to the group. And that'll help us help you, because you've already taken the initiative. Let's see. Oh, I did want to make sure I commented on this. Thank you so much for your patience during the week with the emails. We have switched our email system, so we should have no more problems with the emails. If you do have trouble and you find that you're not receiving the emails, please email us at coachyourdamnself@gmail.com. CoachYadamn@gmail.com. Jovette says, I have a particular area of focus for each day and keep one priority that must be done for the week. Yo, whatever works. Goal here, the point is that you are consistently number one. So we've got the journal exercises. If you're new, you may not know this. So I keep my own journal. This is just regular plain old $1 composition notebook that I keep my own journal, right? The point of the challenge is to force you to reflect on the questions that are being asked each day. Thanks, Dr. Lucretia and Gina. just to reflect. What I have found is that a lot of our answers are in the reflection, right? Our identification of what we've already, look, I almost had to, I felt like I was about to rhyme. Do y'all remember Oh Boy when he was on In Living Color? The identification of the illumination of your but when you identify what you've already gone through and the lessons that you've already learned and what you've already done, what you find is that you do have the answers. That's the foundation. That's the premise of coaching. You have the answers, not me. Tanisha, well, I don't know. Coach your damn self. Don't let fear punk you. You punk fear. You Debo fear. Don't let fear Debo you. Alisa, as you look for foods to bring up your energy, let us know what you find. Because I guarantee you, I already know some, but I want you to look and then we can share. We can trade in the group. So that's the, yeah, I see y'all laughing about the about the fear. Fear is not gonna debo us, okay? It's coach your damn self for a reason, because we rise up. It ain't happening. Okay. So here's the important part. If this is your first week, awesome, welcome. If this is your second week, here's something important for you to know. This week's questions are the exact same, and there's a reason for that. What I have found is when we're trying to do something new, if we try to switch it up too much in the beginning, we wind up not doing anything at all. But if we focus on doing just one thing new, when we're attempting to create new habits, and we do that one thing for 30 days, then the habit somehow it gets ingrained in our cellular memory. Like our body automatically gets into it. So today we made a list of all our goals. Tomorrow, you're going to research resources that will help you to achieve your goals. And you can choose one or you can choose all of them. The point here is not to achieve the goal. Tomorrow, you had a baby. Congratulations. The point is not to achieve the goal in 1 week's time, right? The point is to identify what and who can help you, prevented you from achieving the goal in the past, and what do you need in order to move to the next step. That's the entire point of the Coach Your Damn Self challenge. So it's a journaling exercise. Our goal throughout the Coach Your Damn Self challenge is to get in the create this habit. Yes, you can talk it out, but what I have found, and I'm a talker too, something about writing. Maybe you can draw. I don't know. I'm not going to give you no research. I'm not going to give you no answers. You find your own answer. You come back and let us know. Because if you're having that challenge, 9 times out of 10, somebody else is too. So what I would love for you to do is figure out what you need in order to reflect. I don't know I don't know what it is, but I would love for you to spend some time with that. So that was the biggest question about the time. Let me just make sure. All right, so we're going to switch gears. Any questions about that? Because we're going to get into this branding. Any questions before we move on? Move on. Let me know. Speak now, forever you hold your peace. If yes, type 1. If no, type 2. No questions, no questions, no questions. Type 2 for no questions is 2. No questions is 2. No questions is 2. Dr. Creasy, you got a question? 2 for no questions. 2 for no questions. Gina, you got a question? 2 is no questions. 1 is, yeah, I got a question. Okay. All right, cool. All right, so let's move on. Branding. This is my absolute favorite freaking subject in the whole wide world. And here's why. Your brand, I don't care what nobody tell you, your brand is what people say about you when you are not in the room. So whether you have a business, an entrepreneurial venture or not, you have a brand. You have a reputation. People are talking about you, okay? And you are known for something. Frequently, we are taught and told that people talking about us is something bad. No, you want people talking about you, okay? So here's what's important, and this is why health is so freaking amazing, especially building a reputation for yourself as a leader. This is important, right? So whether you classify yourself as a coach or not, you are a leader. People are following you. People want to know what you think. People care about your opinions. They care about your thoughts, all kinds of stuff. As it relates to your health, your life as well, really everything that we're doing throughout the challenge, if you do it correctly and correctly, all that means is if you share your journey, people will begin to know you for the journey, the part of the journey that you're sharing. I thought I had a book right here. It's not right here. But people will begin to know you for the part of the journey for which you're sharing. And that's what they will begin to associate you with. If you are interested in building a brand online, which I'm going to assume majority of you are, this book is very helpful. This book is called Jab, 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 Right Hook by Gary Vaynerchuk, who runs a multi-million-dollar marketing agency. I love him. He's loud and brash. He's in New York. But what he talks about, it says how to tell your story in a noisy social world. One of the key things that he speaks about when it comes to building your brand is the idea that you are not selling, that you are documenting your journey. Okay. Now, how does that relate to health? We all got health goals, something that we want to achieve. This is what I know for a fact when it comes to your social media. People who are on your friends list want to know about your life. They want to know what's going on with you. They want to know what you're working on. They want to know how you're improving. If you share your health journey in particular, you will find that you will find accountability. You will find people cheering you on. You will find that you will spend more time actually achieving the goal because you didn't put it out there in the atmosphere, in I don't know, not the stratosphere, but something about the internet. It's another sphere. But people will begin to associate you with achieving that particular goal. Even, this is important. Catch this one. I feel like a preacher. Catch this now. Catch this. Especially when that particular goal has absolutely nothing to do with your business. As a leader, you are called to do and attempt excellence in every area of your life. And oftentimes when we choose a leadership role, we do not allow ourselves to be vulnerable enough to let people know that we have something we're working on. We don't allow it. And when we don't allow it, what happens, people do not feel as if they know, love, or trust you. That's a really big term in marketing. This whole idea around know, like, and trust factor, right? But when I share that I'm working on drinking more water, and every day at 8 o'clock, 12 o'clock, and 3 o'clock, you noticed that I'm posting about got my water, drinking my water, showing a picture of my water, right? You begin to get an inside look into another area of my life that has absolutely zero to do with my business, but everything to do with my humanity, my humanness. Does that make sense? One, if that makes sense. Two, if that don't make sense. One, if that makes sense. Two, if that don't make sense. Okay, cool. 111111119. Oh, 6. I can't help it. Okay, cool. So why is all of this important? I'm going to tell you why. When you focus on your health in particular, and not just your health, I just had my little notebook, but any of these areas, right? And you express your working on them, and not just working on them, but achieving them. Because remember, every goal typically takes about 30 days, or any habit typically takes about 30 days to achieve. But when you express and you achieve the specific goal, when you share it and then you achieve it, what you're actually doing is creating longevity in your business. And the reason why is because we typically don't have goals just to have them. We typically create goals in order to make us better in some way. And as it relates to our health goals, those health goals you to sleep better, help you deal with stress better, help you deal with anxiety better, which is a non-negotiable in entrepreneurship. You're going to experience stress and anxiety, period. Don't care what kind of entrepreneur you choose to be. But the better your health, right? The more time that you dedicate, you commit to your health, actually you wind up, it's almost an investment in yourself. You find yourself with more time able to dedicate, and the value, the quality of your time is even better than when you don't. Do I have a good example of a person that shares their health stuff? There's a fitness. See, now here's the thing though. Typically you find people who share their health stuff in health. This is really just one of the options that you can choose. What is her name? She has a Anawa Adjoa. Anawa Adjoa. ANOWA ADJOA. She shares her health journey. In particular, most recently, she shared about how she got pregnant with twins, and she had some type of rupture in her abdomen, and how she worked to build it. That's a good example for me. Oprah, Lisa Nichols, got you. Elisa, yes, it is all connected. All of this, there is no separation. Yep, you're welcome. Muscle Mom? I don't know her. Tawana. Muscle Mom. Tawana says Muscle Mom. Hey, go figure. Sustainability. Here's the thing about most of us who are new to entrepreneurship. This is what I have found in my own journey. I don't know what the hell I'm doing. And when I choose something, it wasn't until Coach Your Damn Self that I really got super duper crystal clear that this is like the foundation of everything. Coach Your Damn Self is the foundation of everything that I do. But most of us, it takes some time. It took some time for me to get here. I started coaching professionally in 2014. I started my certification in 2015, invested in my first internet marketing program in 2015, didn't come up with Coach Your Damn Self until 2016. So it's a journey. But what I've noticed for myself is that when you focus on making yourself better, right? And you share inspirational, and here's the funny thing. It's not that you're trying to be inspirational. You're really just trying to make sure that you share the pieces of your journey. But what happens is, as you are sharing the pieces of your journey, instead of selling the things that you're doing, people are drawn to you because they feel like you're on equal playing fields. People talk to me all the time about stuff that I put. Now it's become such a force of habit that I share whatever goal that I'm working on, that people talk to me about the goals that I'm working on, and I didn't forget about them. Whether I achieved them or not. I didn't forget I posted about it. Like, how do you know about that? The other thing, branding wise, is that you are creating content, right? You'll hear people talk about content, and this is just really stuff that, you know what I mean, that you need to that will help nurture your audience, help your audience get to know you. If your content is your real life, you never run out. Because people want to know about your real life. We want to know what you got going on. We want to know what you're working on. We want to know we want to know what things you've achieved in your business and what new service you've got rolling out. But we don't always want to hear about your service. We want to hear what else you're doing in the world. What else is happening in your life? And so if you are talking about your goals and the challenges that you faced, the lessons that you learned, the resources that you found in the journey of coaching your damn self, right? People may not say coaching your damn self, but that's really what it is. As you're fighting against your own fear, as you deboing fear, knocking fear out, and you're sharing pieces of that journey, that is your content. So now your content is based on real shit and not made up shit. Does that make sense? And for those who are new, I forgot to tell you I cuss. So my bad. I do. So you're sharing your journey, making yourself relatable, human, and down to earth. Not positioning yourself as a guru, know-it-all that has it all together. Because really nobody does. I don't care who you are. And what I have noticed in my own personal experience is through sharing my journey with other people, people are more likely to now share their journeys with me. By allowing myself to be, thank you, Naj, you're good. I practice Buddhism. By allowing myself to be vulnerable and sharing my mess ups. Go figure. People relate to me. I call that concept, what I do, friendship-based marketing. It's sharing the stuff that you would typically share with your friends with the public. Now, you ain't got to share everything, right? Of course, there are things that you're going to choose. You're going to pick and choose. This is your journey. You pick and choose what parts you want to share. But if you are a coach, and most of you are, or you want to get into coaching, and just so that you know this, let me make sure I'm clear. Coaching is a skill set, not a career. Let me say that again. Coaching is a skill set, not a career. And what I mean by that is that no matter what type of business, entrepreneurship, what career you're in, no matter what you're in, the ability to talk to someone, help them identify exactly what it is, help them to communicate exactly what it is that they're looking to achieve, and communicate that clearly to you, that is a skill set. I don't care what business you're in, what career you're in. That is a very helpful skill set. Unabridged, Spring 11, the best way to share is however you want to. Here's what I have found. Again, whatever works for you, whatever comes easiest to you, whatever makes sense to you, you're going to attract women, men, people who that makes sense to as well. So if you do what's easiest for you, I guarantee there are people who are going to do that very same thing. So if you watch a shit ton of YouTube videos, boom, there you go. If you like making videos, boom, there you go. If you like to read books, boom, there you go. Whatever way that whatever is easiest for you, do that. Because if it's easy for you, then you'll consistently do it and you'll become known for it. But if it's a pain in the ass, you're not going to be consistent and you're never going to build up that momentum to do something else. That's really what this whole online entrepreneurship, being a coach, is all about. Is you start with one thing and you do it really well, you build momentum and you move on to the next thing, including that first thing. For example, my podcast. For those who may not know, I have a podcast called The Freedom Friends Show. It's hosted currently on my website, natishawillis.com/category/podcast. And I love talking to people. I love sending people messages who I don't know. I love getting to know people. I love meeting new people. I do it constantly. That is my absolute favorite thing to do. If I could do anything in the world and get paid for it, it would be paid to meet people. What I found in building up my podcast is that meeting new people is a skill set that I have, a natural ingrained skill set. From June 1st until December 31st, by myself, scheduled over 100 interviews for my podcast. That's unheard of in the podcasting industry. I was doing about 3 interviews a week, reaching out to people, interviewing them, recording and sending over to my virtual assistant, which we'll find out more about in week 5 when we talk about business. But sending them over to my virtual assistant, who then spliced together the intro and outro, made sure they were put up on the website, right? And that's as I was able to continue doing those if I didn't do anything else for my business during the week, I was doing these podcast interviews. What I found as I did more, I was learning, I was able to be inspired. I had access. Number one, it was a great, awesome, and amazing way to network. I don't like networking. This whole idea of I'm going to give you my business card, that's not my way. I like to have in-depth conversations with people. I want to get in their business. I want to know who their mama is, when their birthday, what kind of ice cream they like, what they doing next, what are their big goals, how are they serving the world. This is how I, Natisha, like to network. Having a podcast gave me that one-on-one interaction that I didn't have to leave my house for. I didn't have to get dressed up because we were using the microphone, right? And I could do it after the workday. That's a no-brainer. This is a win-win for everybody. But what I found is doing the podcast, I was able to now build momentum. So from the podcast, now I've got something I'm consistently doing. I've got this podcast rolling. Okay, what else do I want to do? Because now that one plate is spinning. Okay, what else do I have going? Okay, let me start a challenge. So then I got a challenge going and I'm still podcasting. Okay, this challenge thing, I got this down pat. What else can I do? Right? Now it just says swapping business cards suck. I don't do that. Listen, I don't even have any business cards. Nowadays, when I meet people on the street, if you want to talk to me, let me get your Facebook. Add me on Facebook. Facebook is now my new Rolodex. Yeah, relationship building, that's my favorite way. Tanisha says, interesting. I had a specific target audience of 18 to 24. My analytics show that women aged 24 to 44 are my fans. Tanisha, I believe you wanted to talk to college students, right? Looks like you want to be talking to grad students. Great. Awesome. Love it. Them women still in college. Any other questions? Because that's the end of it. I kind of went off on a tangent with that podcasting thing. I want to make sure that we wrap this up. We got 3 minutes. 3 minutes. 3 minutes. 3 minutes, Dougie Fresh. You're on. On. Yeah, I don't even know last time I ordered business cards. Thanks, Miss O. I'm always like this. So this, remember, tomorrow, bright and early. Hey, Sherry. So if this is your first week, right? If this is your first week, then you want to focus on your life goals. And in particular, your life goals are those goals that are the foundational part of your lives. The 2 questions, I don't know what the 2 questions are. So if this is your first week of the challenge, welcome. I'm Natisha, your host. Ha! And this week, you want to identify your goals. So you can look at the kickoff call from last week. I did a shortened version because it was 90 minutes. But you want to work through your goals and identify exactly what some of the goals are, things that will help you to address the things that are foundational for your life. For me, that's procrastination. Right? That's like a foundational thing that affects everything else in my life is procrastinating, wait until the last minute. For you, that might be being on time, right? This is your life goals. If you're in the second week, then we're working on health goals. Remember, the point of this exercise, Coach Your Damn Self, is not to achieve the goal. It's to identify the goal and get in the habit of journaling. If you achieve or work toward the goal, you cooking with gas. Yes, on the website, no. But the vision mapping party is from last week. Questions were given on day 2, something to do with fear and asking for help. Day 2 questions. Did you receive the recap email? Day 2 are your fears. What's blocking you and what's prevented you from moving forward in the past? What fears do you have and what has prevented you from moving forward in the past? Which one should I watch for week 1? Yes, you can do vision mapping party. Vision mapping party is a full 90-minute video. If you have time for that, by all means. If you don't have time for that, there's one called kickoff in parentheses short. Parentheses? Yeah, parentheses. I couldn't remember if it was parentheses or parentheses. Yeah, parentheses. So kickoff in parentheses short. That's the 10-minute video that gives you the gist. Jana is a separate Facebook page. Ultimately, that's up to you. You might want to watch the whole thing. My relationships, whoever I add to my personal page, they see my personal stuff. And I don't really have a whole lot of personal stuff. So ultimately, you have to make that decision. Whatever works best for you, I fully support you. Should I create a separate page on Facebook? Not my goodies. Not my goodies. That's not what I suggest. Is that everybody? Because I need to go. The leaders are waiting for me. You will be fine getting information about the leadership group. We have smaller groups. We want you to feel comfortable in the large groups, but we also want to make sure you have someone who you can reach out to if you have questions or if there's some information you need. So you will be receiving that information tonight, actually. So if there are no more questions, speak now, forever hold your peace. Let me know, let me know, let me know. You don't. You deal with trollers the same way you do in real life. You ignore them. When you ignore bullshit, it goes away. And if it don't go away, you need to delete and block folk. Forgive me, I get passionate. I have deleted and blocked family. It is what it is. We have to begin to protect our own energy and our own time. I don't deal with garbage. I just don't. I cut it. Period. Yes, this video, please share it. You are in control of your time. Time is the only resource, non-renewable resource you have. You have to protect it. Protect it like shit, gold, like platinum, like diamonds. That means snatch it back. Naja said, Zia said, cut it. Make haters your motivators. Yo, T.I. got a song about that. Some motivation. I might put that in the group. Whatever works for you. But I can tell you, for me, in the very beginning of my journey, I just had to cut folk off. I just don't have the energy. I don't have the words. I'm not there yet, to have a intelligent conversation with people who are just doing stuff to get a rise out of me. So I don't. You have to, this is where coaching yourself comes in at. You have to be okay with who you are and where you are and do what you can do. We have to begin protecting our own energy. That's why I sent out that information about the Reiki course. It was in your starter kit. Right now it's $10. $10. You can be a Reiki master for $10. We got to protect our own energy. That's all I got. All right. I'm about to peace out. I'm about to holler at the leaders. Hopefully you have the link. If not, I'll put it in the group. And for everyone else, thank you. It has been amazing. It is always a pleasure to have these chats with you. I will be getting on live on Wednesday. If you do have questions, please email Coach damn self@gmail.com so we can answer them for you. One member of the team will get to you immediately, well within the next 12 hours. Hey, Jaleesa says she bought the course. Come on. We're about to change the world out here. A bunch of Black women Reiki masters. Let's get it. That's exciting. If you need the link for go back to your starter kit. It's in there. I promise I gave it to you because I can't. That's why it's Coach Your Damn Self, because I got this way because I coached myself to it. Yes, Yvette. Who else got the Reiki Master course? That's what I'm talking about. Let's get it. Somebody asked me, can I do Reiki on them? I said, I do Reiki on myself, my mama, and that's it. I do Reiki through my business. That's how I do Reiki. Did it go up, Elisa? Damn. Well, it'll go back down. Don't worry about it. Watch it, because it was $20, then it went down to 10. The regular price is $200. All right, Cat New. Let me get off this phone with y'all. I gotta go. Deuces. Love y'all. Have an awesome and amazing rest of your Sunday evening. Leaders, meet me in the Zoom. I'm opening it up right now. Everybody else, good night.